and then in the bracket I will use the selected text variable, selected text, and then open the bracket for the switch statement. Here it is. Now first of all we have to use a case, and then use what will be the case when the selected text value have the country name Pakistan. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to M.Shakir. Today we are starting a new chapter of our SAP Analytics Cloud scripting. The name is Advanced Application Design with Scripting. So let's begin. In this video, we will discuss the if-else statement in detail, and after that, we will explore the switch statement with the practical example of image. So let's move straight to the system and explore the if statement and the switch statement. Let's move on. Here it is. Now we are on our story and we have the blank page. First of all, I have to add the drop down for the countries. So I will go to the insert menu and then go to the filter control and then select the drop down, because the filter in the drop down is mainly used for controlling and filtering the data. So I will select the drop down. Here it is. Now move to the center of the screen and then resize it to some extent, and then I will insert the text for labeling that this is the drop down list for the countries. I will move here countries and name the countries. I have added the countries here and now resize it so then it's look like with the drop down. Here it is. Now the countries and the drop down has been added. Now the second step is to add the members into the drop down. So for the first I have to click on the plus and then I will give the ID to 1 and then name the country of my beloved country, that is Pakistan, and then I have also another member, name the ID to 2 and then name it the USA. So as you can see, the default radio button is present here. If I select the USA, the default member of our drop down will be USA, and if I select the Pakistan, the default member will be Pakistan. So first of all, I just have to give the background for adding this drop down and the label. So we will use the switch statement while when the user navigate to this drop down and will select any value, the switch statement will work, and the switch statement will show the image related to the particular company, related to the particular country which the user is selected. So in this exercise we'll explore the switch statement as we have discussed earlier, and now for adding for portraying, for displaying the image related to the drop down country, we will have to add the image object also. So I will again go to the insert menu and then go to the others and then select the image. I just have to resize it and then move. Here it is. Now let's increase the size so then any image can be automatically adjusted. So now the last thing which is very important, which we are going to do, is to do the scripting on the drop down menu. So I will go to the outline, to the outline tab. You know the three tabs are present: assets, outline, and the filters. So I will go to the outline and then go to the drop down and then go to the scripting, edit script. select on the edit script. Here it is now script editor on this on related to the drop down. So the function on select is now open. So we will have to write our scripting here. First of all, I will have to get the value of drop down menu by using the variable. I will declare the variable and then name it selected text, and then use the function of get selected text from the drop down. So I will use the drop down, let's go one dot, and then code completion control spacebar, and then use the function get selected text. So this function will return the text value to the selected text variable. So our next step is to declare a variable for the image URL, which will have the URL address of the image. So I will name it URL underscore img is equal to any sort of address, that is www.google.com.pk. Here it is. Now we will add the switch statement here. Our two image has been created, and we will use the switch statement, switch, and then in the bracket I will use the selected text variable, selected text, and then open the bracket for the switch statement. Here it is. Now first of all we have to use a case, and then use what will be the case when the selected text value have the country name Pakistan. What will we execute? The bunch of code which we want to execute when the user select the Pakistan. So for this example, we will set the URL image, and then use that image to the set image function. So we will move the URL underscore img to the URL that is related to the Pakistan. So we will have to select the image related to the Pakistan. Just go to the Pixpay and then use the testing images for Pakistan. Here it is. Now I will select the very first image, Ctrl C, copy link address, and I will use this image in the URL image. And then after this we will have to set this URL image to our image object. So I will use the image underscore one dot, and then code completion. You will use a set image, and in the set image we will have to use the URL underscore img variable. Whatever the URL will be saved in this image in this variable, the image one dot set image will set this image into this object. So for the case of USA, we'll have to create another case, and then USA, and then colon, and then we will use the URL underscore img variable, and then again go to the Pixpay and then select the image related to the USA. Here it is. Now select this, copy link address, copy link address, and then go back to our story and then control V. Here it is. Now use a semicolon, and after that the one more important thing which we'll have to use is the break statement at the end of the code of any case. So in every case we will have to use the break at the end of at the end of the case. Same as it is, we have to now we have the URL of related to the USA. So we will again use image. Let's go one dot set image and then URL underscore img. Here it is. Now at last but not least we will have to use the break. Now we have defined the both cases for the USA and for the Pakistan, what the system will do, and now in case of any option which is present into the drop down but the user selected. So it means that like if we have added the India and we have not mentioned any URL for this India, so the default behavior should be executed. For this, the switch statement have the default option. The default URL will be saved. We will use the same statement for this, because for the default the Google URL will be set, and any image regarding to the Google, or we can also use the random pick URL by going to the random website, which I don't know. Yes, the random image is the Lion Pixel. So I just have to copy the address of this image and then go back for the default option. I just change it to the new URL. So when for the default behavior, the image and the random image will be shown automatically. So let's select also. So let's also add another country into the drop down. So then we will also examine the default behavior of our drop down. I will go to the page and then select this drop down and then go to the designer and then again add any country like India, and then it means that in the case of India a random image will be shown into our object of image object. Let's save our story and then go straight to the view mode for testing our scripting. Here it is. Now let's select the USA. No image is showing. It means that the URL of this image has some problem. Let's select Pakistan. Pakistan's image also have some trouble. Let's select India. Here it is. Now it means that the India's default behavior is working fine, and for the case of Pakistan and for the case of USA, no image is showing. It means these problems in some in the URL of this two options. So let's replace both of this address, URL address, with some other images URL. Again go to the on select and then close this. So here it is. I am now replace both the URL of Pakistan and the URL image of the USA. And let's check our story again by clicking on the view button. And select USA. Here it is. Now the image is not showing. Let's select Pakistan. The image is also showing. It means our all three scenario is being of the switch statement is working fine, and we are onto the right direction, and we have now completed our task. So hope you like this video. If you like this video, do click on the like button. Also, if you are new to my channel, to subscribe to my channel. Let's meet into another new video. Till then, bye bye, take care.